All right, it's that Friday we've been waiting on for a long time, the Friday before spring break. Or spring break, fall break. So, everybody out there, I hope you enjoy your fall break. Let's knock out real quick chapter 17, section 2, because this right here will bring an end to the chapter 17 review sheet that you'll want to turn in. Um, It will be chapter 17 review sheet will be one of the first grades that will wrap up and turn in for the second 9 weeks. But we're gonna wrap it up today, and we'll put the finishing touches on it next week, which starts the new 9 weeks. Um, if you have not looked, um, you need to go back a page and you need to read the stream page. You need to read these announcements real here. It's real important. In fact, let me pull up your classroom here right now so that we can. I have to pull up another stream page. All right, there's a very important announcement right here. Okay, and what it says is, it's the end of the 9 weeks announcement. Sunday, October 11th, 2020, at 3:30 p.m. is the final due date for these items. By that time, you should have turned in anything chapter 15. Chapter 16 review sheet should be turned in by that time. The 9 weeks review test that folks took on Monday of this week should be turned in. Or Tuesday of this week. And the warm-ups that ends today, and that is September 28th through October 9th. Those must be submitted by Sunday at 3:30. And I have to work on grades. Grades are due next week. And so I need this stuff turned in, and that's the deadline. I have to have it by that time. Anything after that time is not going to be accepted. So make sure that anything that you've got now, anything before chapter 15 is done. I'm not checking that stuff anymore. I'm only looking for chapter 15, anything 15, chapter 16 review sheet, and the 9 weeks test that you were supposed to take, and I need today's warm-ups. So you've got until Wednesday to get that taken care of. All right, so you need to do your warm-up today, get that thing turned in, watch the video for today, follow the directions, turn in work mentioned on the stream page before. I just went over it, and I will see everybody Wednesday. Now, Monday and Tuesday of next week, take a day off, take 2 days off, okay? Sit back, relax. I hope to do as much sitting back and forgetting school as much as possible, because I need to, just like you need to. But Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week, I'll see you on this computer. So that's everybody. It doesn't matter if you're traditional. It doesn't matter if you're blended. Everybody is to be on the computer Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Roll will be called and work will be given. And so if you come up with some excuse, it's not going to, it's, I was at the beach, you still have to be on your computer. Otherwise, it's an unexcused tardy. That's just the way it is. So, y'all just tune in with your computer. Okay. All right. And let me read real quick the times that I will be meeting with you. First period, I will meet with you from 8:30 until 9. Second period, I will meet with you from 9:06 until 9:36. Third period, I will meet with you from 9:42 until 10:12. Fourth period, from 10:18 until 10:48. Fifth period, I will meet with you from 10:54 until 11:24. And sixth period, I will meet with you from 11:30 until 12. So I do expect you to tune in at those times. So I'll see you then. Okay, let's quickly get into this. Okay, we've been talking about smoking. And for those of you that are at home, I've done quite a bit of talking about my mother. And my mother was a smoker, and my father was a smoker too. And they both paid basically the ultimate price for smoking. Cancer killed my mother about 4 years ago in 2016, and cancer and my dad had a stroke because of smoking back in 2012. So this is something that's really important. It's something that you need to hear. Um, and let's get to it real quick. All right, classwork. Let's see. This right here is what we're going to finish up today. So this right here is what you're going to turn in at the end of the period today, or next week if you do not finish it today. Then you'll be turning it in next week. This will be one of the first grades of the new 9 weeks. All right. So let me go over real quick. I'm going to do the whole thing. The live stream covered part of this. I'm just going to go ahead and cover it all here and knock it out. So I got to scroll down here to where it talks about smoking. All right, smoking in your health. And right here it talks about how if you take a hit off a cigarette, how millions of invaders go into your lungs. Well, it's talking about the cigarette smoke. Because cigarette smoke, if we look over here on this page right here, talks about how there's 4,000 chemicals in a puff of smoke from a cigarette. And the majority of them aren't good chemicals. And there are three in particular. There's three in particular that are really bad, and they're mentioned in the book. Tar, carbon monoxide, and nicotine. Okay, announcement is over with. So the three chemicals that are mentioned in the book is tar, carbon monoxide, and nicotine, and they're all deadly in their own ways. So to start out with, let's do the definition here for tar. Tar, and it is located right here. The dark, sticky substance that forms when tobacco burns. Tar is a residue that is left over from the tobacco burning, and it is thick and it's sticky, and it makes your teeth turn colors, and it gets in your lungs, and it fills up spaces in your lungs. It's just not a real good thing, and it causes your cilia. The cilia is the small hair-like extensions that try to catch things and sweep it off to your mucus and then down into your stomach. Well, they get stuck when you smoke. The tar causes them to clump together, and they can't do their job, and it causes a smoker to have that that deep smoker's cough that you hear. So that's what's going on. That's what tar is. Tar is a carcinogen, and a carcinogen means that it can cause cancer. So tar is a dark, sticky substance that forms when tobacco burns. All right, now next, as we scroll down, you will see carbon monoxide. All right, what is carbon monoxide? All right, let's underline it here. Carbon monoxide is dangerous because its molecules bind to hemoglobin. Okay? In other words, it likes to bind and stick to our blood. We need oxygen to bind and stick to our blood, not carbon monoxide. So that's why carbon monoxide is different, because it takes the place of oxygen. And we need our blood to carry around oxygen, not carbon monoxide. Now, also write this right here. Write down that it is a colorless and odorless gas, because you cannot see carbon monoxide and you cannot smell it, but it is very, very deadly. It can kill you quickly. So carbon monoxide is a colorless and odorless gas, and it binds with the hemoglobin, and it prevents oxygen from being able to be carried around in your blood. All right. Next, down here, it talks about nicotine. So what is nicotine? All right. Here is nicotine right here. And what is it? Nicotine is a stimulant drug that increases the activities of the nervous system and heart. Nicotine is what you get addicted to when you start smoking and using other tobacco products. Nicotine makes you have this serious need to have it. It messes with your heart rate, your breathing rate, with your nervous system. It makes you feel like you can handle stressful things better. And people, that's why they quite often, you hear them say, I got to have a cigarette. I got to have a cigarette. Well, it's because they feel like that cigarette, since it messes with their nervous system and with their heart rate and breath, they feel like that it equips them a little bit better to handle stressful situations. And it's those things that since it makes you feel like it's helping you, it gives you a false sense of, I need this more and more and more. And when you feel like you need something more and more, that's called an addiction. So right here, addiction. And an addiction is a physical dependence. Physical dependence is when you feel like you have got to have it. It is a craving. I have got to have this. I told the classes that many years ago, I used to get up in the morning and go for a walk. And when I would go on a walk, there would be a woman standing out on her front porch smoking a cigarette. And I would think to myself, man, it's awfully early in the morning to be out smoking a cigarette. I'd rather still be in bed. Well, I'm sure that person would too. I'm sure that they think, man, I hate standing out here on this front porch, especially when it's 30, 20 degrees outside. I'm freezing and I'm having to stand out here smoke a cigarette. Well, I'm sure it's because the body is addicted. It tells the person, I don't care what the temperature is outside, I've got to have it. So get up out of bed, throw on your house coat, put on your pink fuzzy slippers, and go smoke a cigarette. And I'm sure that's why that person is out there doing that, because I would see her just about every day out there. These cigarette packs right here, they are for real. The Surgeon General is the person that's in charge of the medical things with the military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. And the Surgeon General writes these warnings, and tobacco companies must put them on labels. They have no other choice. Surgeon General's warning: cigarette smoke contains carbon monoxide. Surgeon General's warning: smoking, what does it say? I can't hardly read it. Smoking causes lung cancer, heart disease, emphysema, and may complicate pregnancy. Surgeon General's warning: smoking by pregnant women may result in fetal injury, premature birth, and low birth weight. Yeah, smoking is really bad for women that are pregnant because it can affect the baby as well. So, and of course, the little baby doesn't ask to mama to go smoking, and the little baby has no choice. So, all right, over here on this page, it starts talking about some of the diseases and health problems that come along with it, and I love checking these out. Healthy lungs, nice and pink. Unhealthy lungs, check out what these things look like. This lung has emphysema, and this lung has cancer all through it. So, all right, so let's talk real quick about what are some of the things that can make you sick if you become a smoker. All right, one of them is bronchitis. And bronchitis, right here. Bronchitis is an irritation of the breathing passages. If you've ever had a deep rattling cough and it hurts down in here, that is most likely bronchitis. Bronchitis is when your bronchial tubes get swollen and you get mucus down in there trying to relieve the bad feeling down in there. and mucus in your lungs, and it causes you to cough, and you just get that really deep cough down there. Could be bronchitis. Another illness caused by smoking is one that killed my aunt. My aunt was a heavy smoker, and she died from emphysema. Emphysema destroys lung tissue and causes breathing difficulties. So emphysema, basically what happens is the lung tissue is destroyed. The alveoli, those little things that look like grapes, they start popping open. And eventually the lung tissue is damaged to a point where you can't take in a deep breath. Normal people can take in, really deep breaths. People that don't smoke can take in deep breaths. People that have been smoking for a long time can't do that. And my aunt, Inez, could not take in a deep breath anymore. And I even told the class about taking her birthday cake. She couldn't even breathe in enough air to blow out her candles. She sounded like trying to blow out candles. It was not pretty. I had to blow out the candles for her. So it's really, emphysema is, you smother kind of. You kind of smother to death. And it's really a bad way to die. My aunt really suffered with it. Thankfully, my aunt didn't die from cancer, but she did die from a disease that was equally as bad in my eyes. It was just bad to see her die that way. Well, another type of illness is cancer, and cancer kills 140,000 people a year. That is about like filling up Bryant-Denny Stadium once and a half. That's how many people die in the United States every year just from smoking cigarettes, from cancer. Just cancer. That doesn't include emphysema. It doesn't include heart disease. It doesn't include any of the other diseases that can come up. That is just cancer. And that's a lot of people. So your next word is tumor, right there. Well, a tumor is a cancerous growth. The definition is cancerous growth. And if you look right here, you can see that there's things growing on this lung. And if you look down through here, it's got spots on it. And it's very obvious that these lungs are not healthy. Now, this lung right here still looks pretty pink, and it looks like it's in pretty good shape. Whereas they look like they've got nasty stuff all through them. Well, that's that gunk and junk that you smoke when you're a smoker. Now, another thing that can kill you, and we're not going to write a definition here, is atherosclerosis. We've already talked about that. Smoking helps contribute to plaque buildup, or the fatty material in your arteries. Smoking can advance this. This is what got my dad. This is what caused my dad to have a stroke. So emphysema got my aunt. Cancer, lung cancer, got my mother. Lung cancer went to her brain, killed her. And then atherosclerosis is what caused my father to have a stroke. In my father, in the blood arteries that carry blood to the brain in his neck, since he smoked for so long, it caused these arteries to fill up with that fatty material, and he had a stroke because of it. And the stroke is when you have a change in the way blood flow moves around in your brain. And he could no longer walk. He lost the use of his left hand, and a really sad situation. He's still alive, but my father has suffered quite a bit due to smoking. This last page right here, it just talks about passive smoking. Passive smoke is when you're around somebody that's smoking, and are the chemicals still dangerous for somebody? If you're in a room full of smokers, is it dangerous? Well, of course it is. I lived for 20 some odd years with my mother and dad smoking. And when I moved out of the house, a lot of my illnesses that I have quit. I would have bronchitis 2, 3 times a year. And since I've moved out of the house with mom and dad 20, 30 years ago, I have had bronchitis maybe 2 or 3 times. Um, Smoking is very detrimental to your health and to other people around you as well. So, all right, well, that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy Monday and Tuesday off, and I will see everybody Wednesday online. So, take care of yourself and enjoy your a few days off. See y'all.